This is News 25 with Unette Gentry. Local news with Deanna O'Donnell. Weather with Michael Donahue. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome to News 25 on KPVM-TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Unette Gentry. It's Thursday, September 24th. Tonight, beginning at 6 p.m., is a rally being held at the Pahrump Valley Winery for President Donald Trump. Eric Trump, the president's son, will be speaking tonight at the Make America Great Again rally. The event will be live streamed on our KPVM-TV Facebook page, and we will have more on tomorrow night's broadcast about that event. A guest at a local business is surprised by a person who was reportedly waiting to rob them.
On September 7th at 5:42 a.m., sheriff's deputies were dispatched to Lakeside Casino and RV Park in Pahrump in reference to a robbery that had just occurred. The victim of the robbery reported that he went into the RV Park bathroom, and when he tried to leave, he was met by a suspect wearing a black T-shirt, dark hair, and thin mustache. The victim described turning the door handle, and the door immediately opened towards him, indicating that the male was allegedly lying in wait. The suspect allegedly pushed the door open and forcibly entered the restroom. He then locked the door, preventing the victim from leaving, and according to the declaration of arrest, he demanded that the victim give him everything in his pockets. The victim refused, and the male attacked him, trying to take his property against his will. The victim suffered a laceration on the back of his head from hitting his head on the sink, and the victim ultimately needed 14 staples in his head because of the injury. The suspect left when the battery was over. Surveillance footage captured a suspect in the area of the restroom that matched the description given by the victim at the time of the incident. The victim identified the suspect using surveillance footage. The suspect, identified as Antonio Reyes, was also identified through a booking photo. Reyes did commit the crime of false imprisonment by restricting the liberty of the victim. Reyes did commit the crime of attempted robbery and the crime of abuse of an older person. The arresting declaration also cites that Reyes committed the crime of burglary of a business. Reyes was later located in Pahrump, where he stated that he was at Lakeside Casino and RV Park during the time in question. He allegedly advised that he did enter the RV Park restroom and subsequently attacked the victim. Reyes was placed under arrest and transported to the Nye County Detention Center, where he was booked.
In more local news, another man is arrested after a reported home invasion.
According to the declaration of arrest, on September 8th, just before 6 a.m., Nye County Sheriff's Office received a call of a home invasion in progress at a residence in Pahrump. Upon arriving, officers observed a black pickup truck driving away from the area where the home invasion was reportedly occurring. Officers also observed that the pickup truck did not have any license plates. Officers performed a traffic stop on the vehicle on Highway 160 just south of Harris Farm Road. The driver of the vehicle was identified as John Dearborn Murphy. The officer requested vehicle registration, proof of insurance, and the driver's license. Dearborn Murphy said that he had a paper temporary registration and that it must have blown off. Dearborn Murphy provided the officer with a Nevada identification card. He said when he was cleared to get a driver's license, he could not because of the COVID-19 shutdown of the DMV. The officer explained that the DMV had been open for approximately 2 months. Dearborn Murphy also explained that he did not have a current insurance on the vehicle. The officer performed a wants check on Dearborn Murphy and his passenger and learned that the vehicle they were driving had been reported stolen from Las Vegas. The officer also learned that the passenger had an active warrant for a traffic offense from Nye County. Dearborn Murphy was arrested for the stolen vehicle and his passenger was arrested for the warrant. Both were transported to Nye County Detention Center without incident.
And stay tuned after this break. We'll tell you about which financial giant is facing major repercussions for allegedly making violations on the stock market. That and more financial news and local news when we return.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, JP Morgan Chase is facing a record penalty for reportedly manipulating the markets. And shares of GoodRx and Layered Superfood rallied during their debut on Wall Street.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, JP Chase could wind up paying close to $1 billion for allegedly manipulating the metals and the treasury markets. JP Morgan is being investigated by the government and also faces probes by the SEC and Commodities Futures Trading Commission. According to Bloomberg News, the billion-dollar penalty would be the largest on record. The scandal involves a strategy known as spoofing. That's where sophisticated traders flood the markets with orders that they have no intention of actually executing. The IPO market is looking healthy. Shares of GoodRx rallied in that company's debut on Wall Street. GoodRx connects patients with discount prescriptions, and investors had a huge appetite for Laird Superfoods, a company started by a surfer. That stock surged in its first day of trading.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Thanks, Angela. Now turning back to local news, since school has been back in session, we've had the opportunity to speak with some students and a teacher about their experience. Today we talked to the support staff. Alicia Lewis is a social worker at Rosemary Clark Middle School, and Alicia took some time to tell us about how she thinks school is going so far. Alicia even had a tip for looking on the bright side of things.
It's going really good. We're all excited to be back on campus, and we are coming in it with the best positive mental attitude that we can have. We're all learning this together. We're all navigating uncharted territory, and I think that we are doing a very good job of doing this together. I think that everybody made the decision that was best for them and their circumstances and their family, and in doing that, we're seeing about a third of kids on campus. So we had approximately 300 kids on campus for our Monday, Wednesday cohort. Same, about a third, about 300 plus students for our Tuesday, Thursday. And then we've got about the same amount on total online. So every family chose what was best for them. And we're social distancing inside the classrooms. We're social distancing at lunch. In the lunchroom, we have cute little sharks on every other seat so that the kids already know where to go. So there has been a rise in anxiety, a rise in depression since we first started the lockout. Kids are really excited to be here, the ones that are here. And then of course the ones that aren't on campus, we're calling and checking in on them. We're engaging them online. And just making sure that they understand that just because they're not here on campus doesn't mean that they don't have access to the same resources, that the kids on campus do. So making sure that we're staying in contact and that they know that we are still here for them is a really big part of what I'm doing at this moment. But I am seeing struggles with some kids. Some kids are not distance learners. They do struggle with that component, need to be in that face-to-face interaction, and that does cause some anxiety and things like that. But then we have other kids that are very tech savvy, and so moving to the distance learning component or even the hybrid component is like no-brainer. It's, it just comes at the snap of a finger. So it really depends on the kids and what their own personal struggles are. Parent involvement is huge right now. We need parent involvement and parent acceptance more than ever. We need our parents to reach out to us and let us know where their kids are struggling, because kids might not be forthcoming with saying, hey, I'm struggling in this area and I need help. We also need parents to stay in contact with us and let us know what resources they may need. When kids are on campus, they can just come into the front office or into my office and say, hey, this is an area that my family is struggling in, what can I do? Well, kids don't have that as easily accessible as what they had before. So it's even more so important that parents are engaged with us and let us know, what they're struggling with. We also want to know what the successes are. We want to celebrate what is working well. So interaction with the parents, we definitely need to have that more so now than ever. Yes, this is a stressful time, but this is also a time for us to get back to our roots of family involvement. If we think about our society now, we are a fast-paced society. It's go, go, go. We're busy all the time. It's technology driven. That's not how our society was, way back when. Our society was family first way back when. So I really think that embracing it from a positive aspect instead of looking at what we can't do, well, what can we do? We can cook meals together as a family. We can do homework together as a family. And I understand that it can be frustrating, especially when parents aren't understanding the content. But that's what we're here for. Parents can reach out and we can give them some tools and some resources so that they can utilize this time to rebuild that family niche. It's a great opportunity. in a uncanny way to unplug. Yes, you have to be plugged in virtually because of the learning, but unplug from the social media, unplug from the TV, unplug from all those other things, and plug back into each other. I think this is a great opportunity.
And once again, we hear how important it is to have interaction with your students and their teachers. And if you have any questions regarding your child, the teachers and support staff invite you to reach out to them anytime. They realize that there are so many different changes in your child's education right now, and they want to help you understand them all. And after this break, we'll tell you about what's keeping a local nonprofit moving along as it works to continue spaying and neutering cats and dogs. How you can help after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, the 2020 Miss Pahrump pageant has been canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic. That means Miss Pahrump 2019, Aaliyah Bolton, and her court will serve another year until next year's pageant, which is set for June 12th at the Saddle West.
It's been awesome. We've done so much. We've done ribbon cuttings, we've gone to the governor's ball, we've done parades, and it's just been so much fun. So sadly, the coronavirus came and we were not able to have our 2020 pageant. So we're gonna move it to 2021 and I will be Miss Pahrump for another year. My platform was the body of cheese with the mind beliefs, and I was hoping to go to elementary schools, but I could not fulfill that due to corona. And so now hopefully I'll be able to, since elementary schools have been opening up now, so hopefully I'll be able to do something with that. They should expect lots of fun, and they need to know that making friends is definitely a great thing to do in this pageant, and that they just need to express themselves through however they want to, and this experience is meant to be fun. It's not supposed to be like mean, don't be mean to girls, so just have fun with it, and hopefully you guys will win.
The pageant to me was very exciting. I made a lot of new friends, built bonds with people. It wasn't so much the competition, we were like each other's biggest fan, so it was great to have people like that. I'm basically here just to support Aaliyah and help her with her community platform, doing all the ribbon cuttings, the parades, all that fun stuff.
For more information about next year's Miss Pahrump pageant, you can go to the Miss Pahrump pageant page on Facebook. And a Pahrump nonprofit that helps pets and pet owners has a new ride. Tales of Nye County assists people who cannot otherwise afford to spay and neuter their cats and dogs. The organization also works to reduce the population of stray cats in our community. That requires a lot of trips to Las Vegas. And now, thanks to a generous donation from a local real estate office, they have a safe, reliable vehicle for all of their travels.
Tales of Nye County needed a van, so on behalf of Nevada Realty and the Ewan family, we would like to donate this van. So we all 32 of us just got together and Ray asked for help, so we did what we could and came up with, the total to purchase the van. Saida Trudeau definitely helped a lot as well.
They gave you a deal?
They did. It was just under $23,000.
We trap, spay and neuter stray and feral cats. Then we put them back to the area which we've done it so that there's not abandoned kittens or sickness and illness. So far this year, we've done 838 cats and 119 dogs. All the cats are transported to Vegas. They cannot handle the volume out here. Every time we get a vehicle, we've had older vehicles. This last vehicle was a 96. The engine blew up, and it's just been an ongoing issue. And finally, one of our individuals said, "I'm tired of the van breaking down. We're getting something else." And that's when Nevada Realty stepped up. They have always supported us in a lot of the community. Most programs that I can think of that they've stepped up for.
We got to do what we can for the dogs and the cats in this area, and anything to help. It feels great.
It is a Dodge Caravan. It's a 2019, and it only had 12,500 miles on it.
What some of the things that you had to have for this transport of these animals?
Just space. basically, I have a mat on order so that we don't ruin the carpet in it, but it's basically space. We have traps that we can get about 35 traps in there. It's amazing, and I can't thank Nancy and Ray enough, and their son Ray, and all these wonderful people that love their community so much. It's terrific.
And to learn more about the spay and neuter programs, or if you would like to volunteer or make a donation to Tales of Nye County, just give them a call at 702-306-3245. You can also visit them on Facebook at Tales of Nye County.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler from KPVM News 25, and we're here outside the Pahrump Valley Winery, the site tonight of a special event with Eric Trump. Going to be in the house speaking and campaigning at 6 p.m. Nice event tonight. It should be good. Good weather for it, and we'll look forward to that. Tomorrow night we'll have highlights and excerpts from the event tonight, an interview with Deanna O'Donnell and Eric Trump, and that's very exciting. Great day for all kinds of fun stuff here at the Pahrump Valley Winery. Come on back. We'll tell you about the weather you can expect for tonight and throughout the week when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and this is your weather report for a Thursday. Oh, look at Fernley. It's like you're not even trying there. 88 degrees for a high today, 48 for a low. Also Fallon, 88 for a high, 47 for a low. Carson City, they're not really trying. 83 degrees for a high, 44 for a low. Out in Tonopah, it's 84 degrees for a high and 44 for a low. Goldfield, well, they're just going to do it how Goldfield do. They don't care how they do it anywhere else. It's 87 degrees right there. 45 degrees down on the low side tonight as the sun sets. Beatty, you're looking at 93 degrees. That's feeling pretty good. 55 for a low. In fact, I might just give you the award today. Amargosa looking like 98 degrees. Body temperature 59 for a low. Las Vegas, body temperature with a fever, maybe like a COVID fever at 102 for a high today. 71 for a low. And in Death Valley, getting pretty frisky there. 108 degrees. Ooh, nice. 72 for a low tonight. In Pahrump, right now it's 95 degrees as we head down from our high mark of 97 degrees. Winds out of the south-southwest, 12 miles an hour. The southwesterly part brings us the fresh air. The west part brings us the smoke. Unfortunately, at 12 miles an hour, but it's a nice dry day here in Pahrump. 10% humidity, and the sunrise this morning at 6:34 a.m. This evening, it'll be suspiciously like that, 6:37 p.m. Yes, we're at the 12 and 12 mark. Here we are, it's fall. 64 will be our low in the morning, and that'll feel nice out on the deck. Winds coming out of the east-southeast at 7 miles an hour. There is some fire activity to the east also. About the south is the only wind direction we get where it's like nice, clean air, but it's not too bad out east. 7 mile an hour wind, 16% humidity tonight. And that's how it's looking for your current weather temperatures. But check out this week coming up. Oh, look at this. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think if you're planning on being outside and doing fun stuff, you might want to concentrate on your Friday, Saturday pretty good. The wind's out of the south, mostly at 11 to 7 miles per hour. And then we get a shift in the winds coming in from the north for the rest of the week. And, you know, we got a little bit of fires going up in Oregon and Idaho. So it'll give us some new states to hate instead of California for the fire smoke. Anyway, that will kind of finish out your week. 95 degrees will be your average temperature as a high going on through the week. 65 for a low will be your average throughout the week. That's your weather report. I'm John Kohler from the KPVM Weather Studios. Good night.
Thanks, John. And speaking of heat, Death Valley says over the summer of 2020, numerous heat records were broken as the park experienced what might be some of the hottest days ever recorded on Earth. This meteorological summer, June through August, had an average day and night combined temperature of nearly 103 degrees. This makes 2020 the fourth hottest summer on record, following 2018, 17, and 16, and marks a continued record of changing climate. 130 degrees on August 16th was the hottest temperature recorded in that park since 1913 and possibly the hottest temperature in the world since 1931. Now that is record-breaking heat. Well, thanks so much for joining us here at News 25. I'm Unat Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, please join us next newscast. Good night.